Perhaps we start this with a very one-liner introduction of who you are, your role, what you do, and then we'll jump straight into the questions.
Okay, I would say I'm Mohammed Elsherif. I have maybe around 14, 15 years of working experience in research, media intelligence, SaaS operations. I love the intersection of people, data, and technology.
Amazing. Perfect. I think that sums it up quite well.
Uh,
And I'm Joy Livera. I work as part of Fin Partners. I'm an associate partner leading the research data and analytics team and have a lot of integration with AI. So we can dive straight in and I can ask you if you could share 2 examples of how you're currently experimenting with or using AI. One can be more at an organizational team level and the other one more individually.
A great question. 2 examples of how am I experimenting with using AI. Well, I would say the first one is personal, how I use ChatGPT almost daily. And I use it for one great thing. We use it for everything, almost like draft the framework, analyze the industry, and iterate some things that I have written. But the one thing that I love using it for is for ideas, stress testing. I make it wear the black hat, and then I try to go for the worst case scenario, and I keep asking him to counter my solutions. That's one thing I use for myself personally, which I find beneficial, and I think people should use it more. The second thing is,
But with
I would
that,
say,
sorry, just to break you up there, with that, do you mean kind of using it like a devil's advocate to find like holes in your thinking or like biases or anything that might not stand up to scrutiny?
exactly, because it's very difficult for yourself to do both things, like to love the idea that you're trying to build, and in the same time to think of every single item that is ruining it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I use ChatGPT to ruin my ideas. Think as of the devil's advocate, like find the flaws in it,
Yeah, I love that.
and he's very good at it.
I love that you keep saying he. What makes you think it's a man?
Well,
That's a whole other discussion.
they are very good at it.
Love that.
So the like the way it tried to because like you always give him the right prompt, like don't try to soften things with me, be straightforward, think of things that I'm not aware of. So you give them the right prompt, and then they will come up with the right ideas to counter yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And then at a more team organizational level.
On organization level, I would say I've been talking with a company, and they're building something that I think is serving, and that's the way I love AI is being used right now. Uh, Everyone I talk with, he's building something for the MENA region. They are always addressing a niche problem, like a very specific and detailed problem. And I love how things are moving, because people right now not addressing the big issues. We've moved beyond this. They are taking one very small thing that could be enhanced with AI. The thing they are engaging with, they're trying to help all the insights managers, practitioners, the leaders, department leaders, research and insights. They like, just give us the data, tell us the objectives you're trying to build, and we will build the whole report for you based on your tone of voice, your branding, your problems, your frameworks, your objectives. It's kind of similar to working with ChatGPT and 8 and then trying to build something that is specifically made for marketeers. So I love how things are moving for being very niche, and I've seen this example a couple of times.
Okay, that is very interesting. So more kind of like once you give it the idea to synthesize it in a way that is reflective of your brand tone or brand messaging, I suppose there must be like a lot of information that you need to give it in order to get that tone of voice
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
But once you do it, I can see that being quite effective.
Mhm.
Okay, amazing. In terms of our perspective and how we use it, I think I would say it's mostly around like processing very big volumes of data and kind of breaking it up into more simplified, straightforward kind of insights that we can then use that human element to stress test, to explore, to ensure that they align with like the kind of outputs that we want them to, but kind of having that initial view of this is the whole big chunk that we're doing. I'm giving you like a simplified version, which then
Yeah.
really helps speed up the processes. But I think there is the key there is that obviously like you can't just rely on the output of that. You do need that analyst level who turn those signals or whatever is being outputted from those models, whether it be GPT or Gemini, and then turning meaningful insights for clients.
Everyone now is working on these two things, whether they have a proprietary NLP
Mm-hmm.
uh, built and customized and open AI models. So
Yep,
I think you shouldn't depend on one over the other. So you have you to
absolutely
build
not.
your own things, mix your own things, customize your own things, which
Mhm.
is, as you said, the knowledge you have built over the years with the open AI models. That will make it things better.
Yeah. Yeah, and that quite leads quite nicely into the next question, which is how do you think AI will transform the core activities in media intelligence and measurement over the next couple of years?
Will take over us.
In what
No,
way?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You see, like I think it will take over the repetitive tasks. Like we used to have these huge teams. Like we used to have these huge teams, sentiment scoring, entity recognition. Like they're doing the trend clustering,
Mm,
and now we have in the coming 1 or 2 years, we'll have much better AIs, especially in Arabic language and local dialects. I would say maybe right now it's enhancing, but still some companies prefer to have human effort. We still have companies who prefer to have 100% analyzed and revised by humans rather than AI. So they won't accept a 90% in crisis, for an example. They won't accept a 91% in a royal family speech or a royal family event.
yep.
So with time, we will have much more accurate results, and we can spot the things that we're not sure of. So it will take over the repetitive analytic things.
Mm,
But when it comes to the contextual narratives, that's when we will need the human factor.
yeah.
Um, you are aware of the descriptive analysis or the exploratory analysis, and then the explanatory analysis, why this has happened. And AI now is very good in these two things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the so what analysis and the prescriptive, the recommendations based on the local nuances, based on the understanding the culture and everything, this is where we're missing the AI. So I would say, answering your question, how will it transform in the coming 1 or 2 years? It will transform in these areas.
Yeah. And with that, obviously, you talked about the descriptive nature and then the prescriptive. Do you think it will also transform towards a more predictive area whereby it will be able to, based on it knows that this has happened in the past, this is what it forecasts or predicts will happen over
I
time?
will, I will, I will add the predictive analysis to the prescriptive output.
Mm,
Like in the recommendation part, I want you to tell me what will happen in the future and how can I anticipate for it. What can I do to make sure it's better? And it's only nature. The thing that we can't compete with AI, with like not all humans can. I'm sure some humans have extraordinary capacity and mental capacity, but AI won't forget. He
Yeah.
won't forget the post that you had 3 years ago and the technique you have used, which is quite similar to the trending topics that is happening right now. So there are things that will be out of our capacity, but AI won't forget it. So if he has a room full of content that goes back maybe 5 years ago, he can definitely get you a better recommendation, type number of characters to use, number of hashtags, when to post, what to do. Press the like button exactly after 2 minutes, apparently. And maybe the coming AI modules that will be used for social media management will be so analytical that they can discover the hidden algorithms for all the platforms.
Yes.
So they will
Yeah.
tell you, like, after you post, wait for, I don't know, 20 seconds, then press the like button, and maybe they will discover things that we won't be able to discover it ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think if that happens, that would be incredible because
It will
everyone
be a
is talking
battle
about,
of AIs.
yeah,
So the AI
everyone's
of the
talking about the
algorithm and the AI of the
algorithm.
tools. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that would be very, very interesting. A nice development, let's say. But then it then raises other questions of if that is brought in through other AI, does the original algorithm AI like that? Or is it going to adapt accordingly to still be this black box that everyone is wondering about? We'll have to wait and see. Um, Amazing. And then the third question that I had is what is your number one AI learning or top tip? And what is the number one thing that you would say we need to be watching out with AI?
I would say both are connected together. Like the top tip is somehow connected to the watch out. Like
Mm-hmm.
AI is it's an accelerator. It's not a replacement.
Yeah.
So if you can, if it's easy for you to do it, so the biggest ROI comes when you embed the AI in the existing workflow.
Mm-hmm.
Do not rely on AI to create the whole workflow for you and you have no idea how it runs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you have, for an example, I used to have an issue with the process optimization.
Mm-hmm.
So I've taken the Six Sigma white belt. I've studied Six Sigma white belt, and then I had the exam and I passed. If I'm trying to build something out of the white belt, which is very basic information, I wouldn't go for AI and ask them, okay, build an workflow optimization for my organization job. I need to build it myself in order to understand. And then maybe I ask him to wear the devil's advocate, like
Mm-hmm.
ask him to help me out. So it's an accelerator, it's not a replacement,
Yeah.
especially for things that you're trying to build yourself. So I wouldn't go and ask him, build me my startup marketing plan, build me my startup business agency, build me my business model. So I have to do it myself and then ask him for the feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the top tip. The watch out, over reliance.
Yeah.
Uh, if I'm replacing things, and I've seen many articles talk about this, do not replace your brain with the AI.
Mm-hmm.
The I'm not talking about how we detect the AI output. I'm not talking about how you will look to the public audience when they see content written by AI and not by you. But I'm talking about your mental capacity and mental ability to solve complex problem
Yeah.
without human validation, especially in the MENA region, especially in how the local nuances have so many things to influence the narrative. I would say don't over rely, treat it as an accelerator.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a key one because also we are all very much aware of the fact that AI can make mistakes. And there's a lot of times that if you treat it as the sole kind of like thinking engine, you start losing your ability to think yourself. And even like for simple tasks, like I found that it is true when you use it over and over and over again, at some point you're like, oh my God, like, how do I phrase this? How do I write this email? Simple tasks that we would before be very comfortable doing. If we're over relying on that AI to do, then we completely lose the ability to do it ourselves, even if it's not
I've,
something complex.
I've read an article. I think it was Stanford, something like this, MIT,
Hmm.
and they were having a study analyzing online content, and they have seen in human, they are sure the human, in human way of writing, people started to use. I think it was 34% of people within the study are using words that was never been used before, like foster. They're using the words that is very common for an AI to use, and it's like these are real human, and they're being influenced by the way they read and the way. So they're using more and more this sentence structure and words that being used by AI.
Mm,
Um, and it can only it can only tell you that my kid and the Gen Alpha might have a very different vocabulary and language, not only created by them but created by AI.
absolutely.
Uh,
Because
so
it
it will
changes.
impact everything.
Yeah, it changes the language or the way that people think and speak and communicate between themselves. And then at the end of the day, you might have like people sounding exactly the same, using exactly the same arguments, and we lose that that individuality.
Thank you. Do you want me to write a summarized thing for what you've said right now? So
Ah,
like, we will keep having
exactly,
these things. I really
exactly.
appreciate what you've said, and I think you are on point.
Yeah, no, 100%. Um, Amazing. And then I think those two were very in line with what I was thinking as well in terms of like what to watch out is that you don't over rely. You do take into consideration those mistakes that can be made, any cultural nuances. Um, as you mentioned, having it as more of a partner rather than a source
I
of
wouldn't.
truth.
I would say even not a partner, an accelerator.
An intern.
Don't rely too much on it.
Yep, that is right. Amazing. And then the next question is again somewhat related, but in a showdown between AI versus human experience in media intelligence and communication measurement, who do we think would win and why?
I think both will win or both will lose.
Mm-hmm.
So neither wins alone.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like AI will dominate in scale, cost efficiency, um, speed, but
Mm-hmm.
human expertise is still, it's irreplaceable. The culture nuances, the context, the interpreting the gray areas, the political situations. I would never rely on AI when I'm writing something that is extremely sensitive, a crisis matter, or something that is for a royal family in Saudi Arabia, or for someone with a prestigious concept in a prestigious place. So I have to put my contextual thinking in media intelligence, especially in the Arabic market. The
Mm-hmm.
sarcasm, the local idioms, the culture sensitive. I'm sure you've seen the difference in culture
Mm-hmm.
between an Arab culture and foreign culture. They
100%.
require human oversight.
Yeah.
So the winner, I would say, is the user.
Mm.
A hybrid model where AI do the heavy lifting and human do the meaning and trust. The winner is the final user.
Yeah. 100%. And I appreciate what you said about it being more of a either win together or fail together. And I think that is a key element that we're seeing within the industry as well, that there's those disruptors that are very much for AI, trying things out, like letting it take over everything. And then we've got those other users that are like, refuse to do anything with AI, do not want to be involved. And I think inadvertently it will be in our lives whether we like it or not, so it's more about identifying it as a collaborator or as an intern or something that we can use to better have a more desirable outcome. but then not completely disregard it as something that will take over or will win and like put everyone out of jobs and like we'll live in a world of AI machines talking to each other. I think it's very much about that understanding that yes, it is something that is here to stay, and how can we use it to optimize it in the best way possible.
Indeed. Yes, I agree.
Amazing. And then we're coming to the end. One last question, and we can wrap up. But what is one word, if you had to choose, to describe your AI outlook for the year ahead?
Pragmatic.
Okay.
I would say pragmatic. I want to make sure that we're grounded. Currently, I think the last thing I've read, we have over 30,000 or 40,000 AI startups. And immediately you find someone, oh, the Chinese AI has launched a new things. Oh, a new startup in America has launched. Oh, now in Saudi Arabia we have launched. Oh, now in Egypt we've launched. Everyone is launching new things, and everything is new. And everything you will have like your eye rolling, and you start to roll, and it's like, oh my God, it can do this. We need to be pragmatic, somehow easy, somehow grounded, and take things step by step. Things will change dramatically, so we need not to. One thing I've asked a friend, and I was asking them like, are you willing to pay for a new AI tool on an annual base or monthly base? Which one do you prefer? So they mentioned monthly, and I said, why? And they said one thing I can't forget. And I said, like, because I know next month there will be something new. So I might regret the decision I've made to buy an annual AI tool. Maybe tomorrow ChatGPT will open in GPT-6. So the things are moving very, very rapidly, in a very rapid manner. So I would say pragmatic. Just take things easy, grounded, and take it one step by step.
Yeah, that is amazing. And it links to also what the word that I would say would be unfinished or developing, which is very much related to this fact of it's all moving in a very fast rate. We need to be open to it, but also selective with what we let influence our language, our decision making, our cognitive skills. But yeah, a lot of exciting things ahead. Well, with that was all I had to dive into. Thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.